Why do some people thrive, while others, despite their talents, struggle with doubt? This ancient story of a craftsman named Jalil reveals the hidden power of our thoughts. In the ancient city of Samarkand, where golden domes kissed the azure sky and fragrant gardens whispered secrets of the past, lived a young craftsman named Jalil. Though blessed with extraordinary skill in carving intricate designs on wood, Jalil's mind was a storm of negative thoughts. Each morning, he would wake up, anticipating problems before they occurred. His hands trembled over the wood, his heart sinking with each mistake. "The wood will surely warp today," he muttered. "A customer will certainly complain about my work." When rain fell, he saw only mud, rather than nourishment for the earth. When the sun shone, he felt only its harsh heat, rather than its life-giving warmth. This constant cloud of negativity began to affect not only his spirit, but also his craft. His once flowing designs became rigid and lifeless. His hands, which once moved with the grace of flowing water, now hesitated with each cut. Customers, who had once marveled at his creations, began to seek other craftsmen. One particularly difficult day, after Jalil had ruined a rare piece of walnut wood with a misplaced cut, he sat outside his workshop, head in hands. His thoughts felt as heavy as the mistakes he carried. Then, a voice broke through his despair. "Why do you carve with your hands, but not with your heart?" Looking up, Jalil saw an old traveler watching him, eyes glimmering like starlight. "Young craftsman," the traveler said, his voice gentle as the evening breeze, "your hands speak of great skill, yet your eyes tell of a troubled heart." Surprised by the stranger's insight, Jalil looked up. "My hands no longer remember their skill," he confessed. "My thoughts tangle like thorny vines, choking any joy before it can bloom." The traveler nodded knowingly. "I was once like you," he said, settling beside Jalil. "Perhaps I can share what helped me transform my garden of thorns into one of roses." Intrigued, despite his skepticism, Jalil invited the traveler into his humble home. Over a cup of mint tea, the old man began to speak. "There was once a farmer who received 2 identical clay pots from his grandfather," the traveler began. The farmer decided to conduct an experiment. In one pot, he planted a seed and spoke to it daily of storms, pests, and drought, all the dangers that might befall it. He watered it with worry and tended it with fear. "And the second pot?" Jalil asked, despite himself. In the second pot, he planted an identical seed, but spoke to it of sunshine, gentle rain, and the strength that lies dormant within all living things. He watered it with hope and tended it with faith. The traveler paused, sipping his tea. "Can you guess which seed flourished?" "The second, of course," Jalil replied. "But people are not seeds. We cannot simply choose how we grow." "Ah, but that is where you are mistaken," the traveler said, his eyes twinkling. "Your mind is the most fertile soil of all, and your thoughts are the words you speak to the seeds within it. Let me share with you 4 simple practices that can transform this soil." Jalil scoffed. "You expect me to believe a few words can change my life?" The traveler simply smiled. "Let me share a story." "First," the traveler continued, "each morning when you awake, before you even rise from your bed, speak 3 things you're grateful for. They need not be grand. Perhaps the softness of your pillow, the song of a bird outside your window, or the skill in your hands. This plants seeds of appreciation rather than expectation." Jalil nodded slowly, trying to imagine beginning his day with gratitude rather than dread. "Second, when a negative thought enters your mind, and it will for thoughts come unbidden like birds to a garden. Observe it without judgment, then consciously replace it with a positive alternative. If you think, "This design will surely fail," replace it with, "This design is an opportunity to learn and grow." Third, the traveler said, refilling their cups with fragrant tea. Surround yourself with beauty. Place a small flower on your workbench. Listen to the songs of birds. Feel the texture of wood beneath your fingers. When we connect with beauty, we remember that life offers more light than shadow. And fourth, perhaps most important of all, be gentle with yourself when you falter. The path to a positive mind is not straight, but winding. Each time you notice yourself in negative thoughts, celebrate that awareness. It is the first step toward change. Jalil sat quietly, absorbing these words. Though simple, they seemed to touch a truth he had long forgotten. But how long, he finally asked, before these practices bear fruit? The traveler smiled. The journey of transformation is not measured in days, but in moments. Moments when you choose light over darkness, hope over fear. Some days, you will feel the shift immediately. Others, it will seem as though nothing has changed. Trust the process as you would trust the growth of a seed beneath the soil. Before leaving, the traveler took one of Jalil's unfinished pieces, a small box with half-carved patterns, and pressed it back into his hands. "Begin here," he said. "Carve not just with your hands, but with a heart open to possibility." After the traveler departed, Jalil sat for a long time, looking at the unfinished box. Then, slowly, he whispered 3 things he was grateful for: his hands, the beautiful grain of the wood, and the stranger's wisdom. Taking a deep breath, he picked up his carving tool and began again. Days turned to weeks, and weeks to months. Jalil practiced the 4 steps diligently, starting each day with gratitude, redirecting negative thoughts, surrounding himself with beauty, and showing compassion to himself when he stumbled. Gradually, almost imperceptibly, his mind began to clear, like a sky after storm clouds pass. His work transformed as well. The rigid lines softened into flowing patterns. His hands remembered their dance with the wood. Customers returned, drawn not just by the beauty of his creations, but by the light that now seemed to emanate from both the craftsman and his craft. Now I challenge you, try just one of these practices for the next 24 hours. Then come back and tell me, what changed? Drop your answer in the comments and let's grow together. If this story touched something in you, don't let it fade. Like, share, and subscribe if you're ready to plant the seeds of a positive mind and watch them bloom.